Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new episode here of the Weekly Close. And a lot has happened globally. We're talking global markets, global news. We're going to talk CRO chart, of course. We're going to talk a lot of things. But as always, make sure you're strapped in and you hit the like button. I need to be very frank, though, going forward, because I've been to a rave. I went to a big party with Armin van Buren. So I got home at about 10 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept much since, so I'm very tired. And I kind of missed also a lot of the things that did happen regarding the latest news in Iran. So I'm curious what the market is telling me. Let's also take a quick look at the charts here. Hit the like, welcome Vikiz. I see Björn, I see Transking, I see Will as well. Strapped in. I see also the new emotes. I love them. I love the new emotes. Welcome, guys. So it's actually quite interesting. So we've got the CRO chart. You can see we were at a quite crucial level, 7.5 cents for CRO, and we got here a rejection, another rejection, another rejection, and then we suddenly pumped above it. That was on Thursday. That was right when we started streaming, and then when we had the stream, we saw this bounce here, and this bounce actually had a good bounce, went up to almost 8 cents. And then we went below it again. This was all due to the tariff, not the tariff fears. Yeah, of course, terror is always a thing, but there were more and more signs that Iran was getting bombed. And eventually, we had one final retest here again. And you saw here the big candle where we got the first news that the first bombs did drop from Israel. So therefore, Cronos had really a rough time with the rest of the market. So you cannot take a look at the CRO chart in a vacuum. If you take a look at the Bitcoin chart as well, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, but it's important to note, though, that we are still in a very tight range. Nothing much is happening there. Still higher low, but also still a lower high. Welcome, guys. Is it the bottom? We can talk about that. It's also important to know that the last time we had a war, that was the US attack, the 12-day war, also again versus Iran. You can see, let me go to the daily chart here, it's a bit better to see. You can see that on the daily, we had the absolute bottom the day after, or the day of the bombing itself. Here's the start. And I believe that going further, it started climbing for Bitcoin. Eventually, we even went, of course, to a new all-time high. 123, and later even to 126. I want to show you the CRO chart quickly. Because I found something quite interesting about, the whole war stuff. So here you can see what was happening recently. If you go to the daily, I believe, or maybe it's a different chart. Check. This is the one. So the last time we had the US war, that was over here. Let me make it a bit smaller. So we had the announcement, or the first attack really of the US, on the 22nd, also by the way on a Saturday. Always attacking on a Saturday or Sunday. They want to make the markets not react that much. We also have to talk about what the markets will do. S&P, gold, going with the market open on Monday. But it took about a week or two after the first attack. That's also because the whole war, it took about 2 weeks, 12 days. After that, we started moving quite quickly to the upside. And this was literally the lowest point. Well, yeah, it was the lowest point since the March drop. And then we climbed up to 35 cents. So I'm not trying to make this, a very bullish thing. I don't like wars. I don't like death. I don't like bloodshed. I hate all of that. But the only thing I can say, if you take a look at what happened in the past, is that typically the beginning of such an event is for the market the worst. Then after it has started, like the worst is already over. Specifically about Iran, is that they are looking for a regime change, and I don't think it's that easy. So that might cause some additional uncertainty also again in the markets. When is the goal accomplished? So here it was quite clear, right? So all the nuclear facilities, they were destroyed, or at least they think they were destroyed. The goal was accomplished. When is the goal accomplished now, and how long will it last? That's the big question. So that might be that we have a lot of uncertainty in the upcoming days, weeks. Let's see though. It can take some time. I think though, as someone is asking, is the bottom in? I still believe if you take a look at the overall market response, like this is basically the worst that could happen, right, to the markets, that we have a new war, potentially lingering war. And yeah, we dropped to about 7.2 cents, but we dropped only to the long-term resistance line. We didn't drop to the previous low. So if you ask me, is the market weakening or strengthening? I would say based on what we see here, we are strengthening, because once again, yes, we are here. We are at the long-term support line at about 7.2 cents. What we're holding. We need to see, of course, a continuation to the upside to see confirmation. It's looking good. I like Karl. I haven't seen him live for a few years though. He's getting old, 49 years old. Used to take photos of him back in the zeros. So that's actually quite the Cosmic Gate team was also there. Really cool. Octagon, yeah, Marlowe, really cool people. Good vibes. State of Trance. Paul Oakenfold. I haven't heard of him in a long time. Above and Beyond. Yeah, of course, it's in the name, right? Trans King. I've lost count of the number of wars I have seen in the US start over my life. So for me personally, it's only been Afghanistan, it's been Iraq. I wasn't there when they had, of course, the Vietnam invasion. Well, we can now also add Venezuela, maybe potentially also Cuba in the upcoming weeks. Hey Shang, what's up? What's up? What's up? Pizza time. I had some pizza today. Barbecue chicken. Bit of a sweet taste. I guess no ETF news then. If anything, I wouldn't launch like a big campaign to sell your new ETFs during these uncertain times. Let's see though. Things can shift quickly. Like it took only 12 days. It took only 12 days to end the war here. Will it be 12 days again? We don't know. The big question is, what will the markets do? I mean, talking about the S&P, for example. So the S&P again, I think had one of the best weeks ever, like closing wise. It is a small rat week, but we are so close to an all-time high. Only percentages. We also climbed almost all the way back to 7,000 last week. We are trading about 69. So that's pretty good for the S&P. What I will be looking is the ES, the S&P futures. But it should be opening up in the upcoming hours. If they are much down, and I think the opening will be down. So I think the opening for the stock market will be down because uncertainty. But I think throughout the Monday open, we will start climbing again. That's almost what always happens. We have a fair opening and then we climb up again. Gold also. Gold did something really interesting. So gold had the best weekly close again ever. Ever. $5,300 almost. On the weekend, the stock trading is and ETF trading is stopped, but the mom and pop stores are still trading gold. They're still selling gold. And also you can buy gold cryptos. For example, X out or PAX Gold or PAX G. So during the weekend, there was quite some gold trading within crypto. So let's see what gold will do. I think it might climb even further. I bought a few CRO, but still open to 5 cents. I would say I'll always be open to multiple outcomes, but I am quite happy where we are now. I am quite happy, even though like this hour we are dumping again. So unfortunate. And I think we you can see at this line where we are now, it is crucial. It is so crucial. Here again, hard to flip. Here, try to hold. Here, try to hold. And also here. So for the next upcoming week, guys, try to watch this level, 7.6 cents basically. If we can flip it and durably, so far we only had like one bullish retest here. If we can flip this, retest it like 2-3 times, I think we are in a good spot. A war will end when they run out of humans. I think if you take a look at the last last few decades, we have been changing how we do warfare from actual warfare to more like economic wars. I prefer that. I think conflict is okay. Unfortunately, you know, the thing about conflict, it's something, sometimes you need conflict to get change. And I think honestly that if you take a look at what happened with the regime in Iran, they have been quite like a total dictatorship. There is little like oppression, not oppression, little opposition there possible. So conflict is eventually good to also get the people of Iran potentially more freedom, right? That is good. The issue is that you have conflict with human bloodshed. If you can have conflict by, for example, discussion, debate, that's the best. That's the best way. Let's hope we'll get there as humanity in the upcoming years. Why are we dropping so hard? So Bitcoin is dropping a bit, CRO is dropping a bit here. I would consider 5 cents an amazing buying opportunity, but I am not convinced we'll see that price this year. Let's see. Today's the deadline for the Clarity bill, is it? Interesting, Mantic. Interesting. The odds for the approval for the Clarity Act have been going up and down, up and down, up and down. I think at this point nobody is really convinced it will get approved, but let's see. Personal opinion here, never financial advice, but I think we're consolidating and forming a long-term bottom here. I don't think we have anything lower to see, and it's up from here eventually. I think like the narrative fits. The narrative fits good. Like the typical drop fits good. We are at long-term support with this long-term white line. So I kind of agree here with the personal opinion, which is no financial advice. Let's see. So what we need for gold, what we need to see for Bitcoin though, is that we are now, again, we are trading in this range, right? We are trading in this range. Yesterday, it was perfect. It was so perfect. So for Bitcoin, we touched this line. We are creating this perfect higher low structure. But also we are creating here a lower high structure as well. I might have to redraw it a little bit, but this is good. This is really good. Because if you ask me personally, so again, no financial advice, would you say we break out to the up or to the downside based on the RSI, for example? I would say there's a higher odds of going up because we are now closer to the oversold level and to the overbought level. The only issue is, of course, this is a symmetrical triangle. And what we do know about symmetrical triangles is that they do not have a certain outcome or a more likely outcome. If this was a different structure, for example, let's say you might know this triangle here, right? This is an asymmetrical triangle. Typically what you see with an asymmetrical triangle is something like this. And then you have a breakout. This is the most likely outcome for an asymmetrical triangle with the top like this. So the top needs to be to the upside. If it is the other way around though, if it is like this, you always also see something like this happening. This is the most likely outcome if you get a asymmetrical a triangle with also you know, a falling bottom. Basically, it is the polar opposite. It's very clear. Do we have any examples on the chart? Let me see. I'm doing this live, guys, so not really. So here we have more a bit of a bear flag. We have a pull, and we have a falling flag, and it's dropped further. And you can see also the pull. It's basically also the it's also basically the target we have. So this fits perfectly. I have a hard time looking for those examples here. Oh well. Chris said, judge the coin at the end of March. Are we expecting a bit of a pump? So, maybe. Well, the exact timing was the 26th of March, 2026. So, we have... Oh, it's, by the way, a new month. It's a new month. How was the monthly close? Oh, this is the weekly close. But how was the monthly close? Was it good? Was it bad? It seems we're going to close, by the way, with another red weekly candle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weekly red candles in a row. This can still change, guys. The market is still volatile even on a Sunday. But I think it will close like this, more likely. We also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red months in a row. And so far we are setting the 6th red month. Or can things change for CRO? Well, we talked about the 12-day war being... So what happened here? It's quite clear, right? So we created a low, set a low. But in the period that followed, as long as the war was lingering still, not much happened. Not much happened. This little pump here that we went up basically from 8 cents all the way to 10. I can't recall if there was any specific news for Cronos. This was the 8th of July. This might have been a Trump announcement, but from that point onward, we started moving quite spectacularly. So the question is, will we get a new news announcement? I think, for example, the Cronos rebrand, that could be such a news, such an example. Will we be like very high end of March? I think if you ask me what is reasonable, I think in March it will be hard to go much higher than 12 cents, except if we get any crazy news. And we can get some crazy news also because we have MCGA coming and potentially the ETF, Clarity Act. Maybe there are some things in the fire that we don't know about yet, but if we have a typical month, just a bit more confidence in the market, like without any spectacular news, I think if we go to about 12 cents for this month, that would be quite a decent response. I think it's quite likely that we follow a similar structure. So if you ask me, could we repeat something like this? Well, potentially. That would mean, let me actually bring it up. We have been, by the way, at this range already for quite some time, isn't it? I wouldn't mind something like this. Yeah, this would bring us basically to about 12 cents near the end of March, which I would say that would be okay if we have a carbon copy of what happened in the previous war, the previous attack. But the fact to me again alone that we have had one of the worst I personally, I have a hard time thinking of anything worse than what just happened macro-wise. And we dropped to 7.2 cents. Solid Snake, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, sir. How's life in Italy? Snow? We have a bit of a summer vibe now. 20 degrees, sun. It's now March, mate. Chris is in trouble, but this is showing that nobody has a crystal ball, isn't it? Well, I have a very good crystal ball, guys. And I'm mentioning they're able. Do we go to 12 cents by the end of March? It's hard to read, but the able is saying you can't count it out. You can't count it out. So I would say that's basically plausible. Most of us didn't accept this. You mean expect? I don't know what people really expected. Hey, what's up, Papa Wakefood? I need to still download the how is it called? The Cows Gone Mad game. So I am very iffy with downloading stuff, especially when it's relating to crypto. So I'm still thinking where I want to install this, and if I can do it like in the safest way possible. But you guys have been having fun, it seems, with the first block, 1 out of 9. So I want to jump in. I think the community is it's freaking amazing. Don't know if you're still here, by the way, Papa. I love it really when Black Sea looks corky. Welcome, John. Oh, Shang, it's your birthday, dude. Welcome. Happy to have you, sir, on your birthday. I completely forgot. GG, sir. GG, welcome. I'm strapping in for you. What did you wish for your birthday? Hey, Coin Baron. Really hoping for ETF plus MCJ plus Cronos app to pump Crow in the next 2 to 3 months. Two things. So I think the ETF and MCJ can be like big catalyst. I am bullish about the whole Cronos app thing, but I do believe it can take some time before it will really give fruit, because what Ryan mentioned in the interviews is that the first version will launch in April. So they have 30 more days to finalize the first edition of the app. But to get any meaningful revenue, I think they might not go with like version 1, but version 3. If I would do any marketing, you typically only have one shot at getting like a good, how do you say that? Like a good product out, especially in the saturated finance market. You need to make a good product before you want to market it. So I think what they also mentioned is that basically around summer, they want to do the marketing push, and the marketing push could be like a reason for people to buy in more to Crow. So it could take some more time for the Cronos app to start generating true revenue. And I've been talking about this in some other groups. So I would say, let's say if the Cronos app in the first year would be net neutral, so basically operating at or making revenue to stop the to net the operating cost. So I'm talking about the salaries of people. I'm talking about the running of the Cronos network. I'm talking about marketing costs. If they can do that, that would be like the freaking best. So potentially in the first year, no burns. I'm not entirely sure. We need to wait for the tokenomics proposal. But it could be like the first year, like until like the 1st of January, the net effect of the Cronos app is negligible. Negligible. It's a hard word to pronounce. That doesn't mean, though, so we live in a world where speculation is everything. Expectation of growth. Expectation of growth is more important for the price of Crow than the actual revenue. So if we see tremendous growth, that's also, we talked about this in the previous video, but if you take a look at Nvidia, the stock shares are, I think, about 44 times the yearly revenue or yearly profit. 44 times. So what they're thinking, what shareholders of Nvidia are thinking as well, typically, right? Typically a company, or previously a company, was valued at about 10 yearly revenues. They think that at least in the upcoming years, Nvidia can 4x their growth. Their growth. Crazy. AI, guys, it's still building. And I'm also still waiting for AI.com. AI.com could also be a potential catalyst, right? AI.com. CRO, by the way, it had a pretty wild week regarding Bitcoin value. So it's hovering here. It's going down a little bit, but still it's holding on. If you take a look at the weekly value, it's a slight red week. Oh, wait. Whoa, it's a slight green week. Didn't expect that. So CRO Bitcoin is doing pretty okay. It's holding on. I like that. I do like that. It's a small green though. It's a small green candle. So let's see where it will go. Bitcoin dominance. So this is super interesting. I think I can talk about this for days. We are closing at the lowest value since the 1st of September. The lowest weekly close since the 1st of September of 2025, that is. So definitely, guys, like altcoins, they are gaining ground. And I think somebody on our Discord, I need to check this quickly. I think somebody mentioned that we are now even in an altcoin month. Yeah, let me show it to you. So don't forget, guys, to join our Discord. But somebody opened this here, Robert. Apparently, it's an altcoin month. You can see here. It just went into the altcoin month territory. I don't personally like the monthly time frame. I prefer the year or the altcoin season index itself. But it's interesting to see that on the monthly time frame, altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. So here we got Bitcoin in the red. Or not the red, in the black. And almost anything is above Bitcoin. There are a few outliers. Esther, big green. CRO, by the way, CRO is minus 8%. Bitcoin is minus 20%. Altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. Some people are talking about stablecoin dominance. Yes, true. Stablecoin dominance is also going up, but take a look at this chart. Altcoins are performing pretty well. Few meme coins here, Pepe down more than Bitcoin, Solana down more than Bitcoin, Ethereum down more than Bitcoin, BNB down more than Bitcoin. That's scary, but other than that, it's more green. Or less red, let's say it like that. I trust Chris. I trust Ryan a bit more. Would we go easy on Chris if all happiness with CRO arrived in April instead of March? I don't think that anyone would really care. 2 more weeks until CRO's first front run? What do you mean with front run? With all the news coming in the next few weeks, I'm curious to see how high it will go given the poor market conditions. I am really hopeful we also will get the ETF launch in the next weeks, but let's see. I think that market conditions can flip very quickly. I think really that market condition can flip very quickly. You saw that, right? Also with Bitcoin. This was a bad week for Bitcoin when we had or bad month when we had the US attack. But we started moving up quite quickly again. So, you know, people were feeling down also here because we were in a downtrend. And this marked the absolute bottom. That was really interesting. Yeah, we have been range bound basically since May then. So that was a rough time, especially because we were already just recovering from the tariffs. But we did fine in the end. Ryan mentioned April for the Cronos app. True, Gordon, true. But that will be the first version. I think you can check also his Twitter account. Ooh, won't happen. It's over for Crow. Man, what a bear. Hit the like button. Strap in, guys. Thank you so much. Smash the like. Here we go. So here it is. So April updates on our progress. In April, we'll have a friends and family rollout for the Cronos app. So to give you guys an idea, friends and family, basically beta rollout only. No big push towards a broader audience. Small first and then bigger later. So friends and family, it is trying to get a bit of a taste for how the app will be. So they can share it with others and get feedback, improve, and then in the summer come with the bigger rollout. Also in April they will have the brand refresh and a new website. Okay, so things like this can also be already like a bit of a pump. Yeah, I don't know why, but the brand, even though it's just a brand, so they're not going to change the token, not going to change the name. It also is about the strategic direction, right? A new wind is blowing. The 8th of July was the news for the National Trust Bank for CDC. That's weird, because we recently had like this amazing news as well. Where is it? It's still a topic for a video coming up. So we had this news. Crypto.com has received conditional approval for a National Trust Bank charter, and the price didn't react at all. Giovanni, welcome. Good to see you, sir. So currently the game has a basic game loop, plenty of time to wait. Yeah, it doesn't. I think it won't release for quite some time, and that's fine. You know, they need to polish it because it's a rough diamond. You're welcome, Papa. It's fine. Giovanni's asking about AI. Why AI? I think AI will get a hit in the coming months due to money flow. The question is then, where is the data center for Cronos AI? The data center, so Cronos AI or AI.com, as mentioned here by Chris. As I understand, they're not going to train their own model for now. They will make use of Opus. They will make use of whatever is available. So I don't think they will have their own model for the first weeks, years, months. I don't know. Still not really active, is it? I think that in the end, I really see. I don't know. I'm curious, Giovanni. Have you tried creating an app? it is so ridiculously good. Let me show you quickly what I recently made. One sec, guys. One sec. Give me 1 second. I made something. I made something. 1 sec. I did something. I have very little coding experience. Very little. But I took, I think, 2 days. I learned about setting up Visual Studio again. Oh, it's not really that sexy, is it, right now? Can I do this? I can't do this right now. It's unfortunate. Ah, you can't see that. So I created this little Cronos dApp for myself using AI. I have an issue with YouTube. YouTube takes about 30% to like 50% of all donations I get via YouTube. So I was like, can I solve that? So I together with like OpenClaw, I created a little app quickly. Unfortunately, now it's behind this Connect Wallet button. Yeah, I can't get it to work now, unfortunately. But it's so freaking powerful. It's so freaking powerful what you can do with AI these days. Don't use this, by the way, yet. This whole website, it's still work in progress. Are we still in a flag pattern? I wouldn't say so necessarily. Some people say this is a bear flag. I disagree. I disagree with this being a bear flag, because a good bear flag would be like this. This is a bear flag. What we have now, this is a you know, this is a falling knife followed up by how do you say that? By an asymmetrical, by a symmetrical triangle. It is more to me like this is a bull flag. Bull flag here. And we continue. Here, this is a good example. This is a good example of a bear flag. So here we go down. And we only go up after that. Ooh. This is a really ugly one, but this makes sense. We have a drop, and then we continue dropping until we hit the low. I think also, if you take a look at the pool, I think it's the perfect target. Okay, it was a bit too much, but this is a better example of a bear flag. What we have now, I would say it's more like this here. Well, not exactly, but here you see a big drop. And then we, I don't know really. This is not really symmetrical, but it's not really the perfect setup. I'm looking for a good symmetrical triangle here, but it's hard to find. Hey, Graphic, welcome. 72 cents in March or April. That's bullish, huh? That's really bullish. I hope too. It's not my expectation really, but I don't say no to that. So in my personal opinion, the market requires some time. It needs to adapt to the new market conditions. So the thing about the market is that right now, the bears are simply still the majority of people out there. It is. The bears are still in a majority. At some point though, those bears will flip into full FOMO mode. And that is the moment when things flip and people start going from, hey, should I be DCAing back into the market? From their thinking goes from, shit, I missed the market, so no DCA, just full port, everything back in the portfolio. I don't think it will be this month already. I think more like during the May, June timeframe is more likely. Because people need time to you know, get back to the conditions of the market. Holding strong at 7 cents. As Chris said, take it up with him by May. No, it's actually in March already, Fit. March 26th. And we're going to keep him accountable. I think I still have a tweet open as well. Let me check if I can find it. I feel bad, by the way, for people like... I saw some tweets about XGen. XGen is unfortunately now stuck in Dubai. And unfortunately, there are no flights now in Dubai. So XGen, if you're listening later or now, I hope you're safe, man. Because I remember I was stuck in Cuba due to like a storm. Different conditions, of course, because storms go over. Wars, you don't know when they will end. But Here it is. This is my tweet. It's the 25th of March. The 25th of March 26th marked. If the price of CRO is below 10 cents, then hold CEO Chris accountable. I'm ready, guys. I'm ready to hold him accountable. The 25th of March is Wednesday. Perhaps the CRO app will have a lockup. I don't know what they will have, but I think like the first edition will be simple and quick, I hope. Ooh, Italy is having some spring moments. I love it. Giovanni hasn't used AI yet to create an app. I think also, you know, of course, chat as well is good. I honestly think that, for example, so if you have a call now with, for example, customer service, I think everything will be replaced by AI within the next 5 years. At least for, not for all companies, but for like the bigger companies like Microsoft customer service, Amazon customer service, you'll have a call and you won't notice the difference between a human and an AI, like within 5 years. It will be disruptive. Will it be as disruptive as we believe, or as the market is pricing in? I don't know. I think though, if I take a look at the S&P, like it is, you know, it's overbought. I think slightly. Is it actually? S&P on the daily is neutral. Okay, on the monthly it is somewhat overbought. But we have been overbought in a long time. So we've been massively overbought here in August 2017. and you can see how much we rose from August 17. Where is August 17? It's over here. We have risen massively, guys, since that time frame. From that moment onwards, we rose another 140%. So the metric itself is not really that, you know, significant. It only shows you that, relatively seen, we are not even at like 2017 levels regarding overboughtness. So the stock market rallied, but it's not like crazy, is it? We have seen really good years though. We have seen really good years. I think on average the S&P goes up about like 7%, 8%, or maybe even 9%. But the last year has been 14, 10, 12. So yes, outsized gains, but there will be also a year where we do less. But I wouldn't say it's much like the internet bubble. I would say this is way different. In the internet bubble era, we went from 400 to 1500 in 5 years. 250% in 5 years. What we just compare, right? From top to top, 2017. That's almost 10 years ago now, 2017. Almost 10 years ago, and we are up... What did I mention? Okay, 200%. It's double the time frame, though. And this... Yeah, okay, it's pretty significant, because we're talking about, yeah, going up about 20% every year, or 15% every year, on average. Do you think we'll pump in April when the Cronos app launches? Maybe like an initial pump, but it might even be like a bit of a sell the news event. I don't know. I have very little thoughts about that exactly. I don't know what it will do. I think the first iteration will be small. Like there won't be any significant revenue. I think though the launch itself, it is like the next step in you know, in to a better future. If like the execution surprises us, if it will be like a very good first version, I think yes. I think the expectations might already be a bit too high. I could think of a worse place to be stuck in than Dubai. I hope Action is staying safe and gets to enjoy some extra hospitality. I have heard that Dubai is giving like people now free hotel nights and whatever. So I think, yeah, well, of course, nobody is coming in. So it's not like they have booked rooms at this moment. Still, though, it's scary. I've heard many stories also from people in Ukraine. The bomb shelters, sleeping in, you know, the fear of not knowing when something is going to happen. That's scary. App launch will be a nothing bug. I don't, you know, I think it's going to be a strategic shift, but I don't know if it will be like price-wise being like so super significant. If you take a look, also, I would say I talk a lot about the hype token a lot. Hyperliquid. The Hyperliquid token, well, oh, actually, the Hyperliquid token had quite some great moves from the get-go. But the Hyperliquid ecosystem has been live for also not that long. Hopefully the app start will be better than from AI.com. I truly hope so as well. Oh well, I would say the initial hype, right, was good. They got a lot of mind share. So if we could get that for Cronos, it would be good. Oh wow, I see some major Iranian attacks on the Gulf. I don't know if something is happening now. I don't know if there's any breaking news. Yesterday, of course, we had the news about the death of the spiritual leader in Iran. Also the big boss, basically. On that news, I think that's pretty crazy, actually. But somebody died, and the markets were rallying. Don't know exactly when it was. I think it might have been like this one here. Started moving up like crazy. Other than that, guys, I honestly have little to talk about today. As I mentioned, I've been very tired. I've been awake for 48 hours. Yeah, but CRO, you know, CRO is it's unfortunate. We are still basically where we were here. We are now basically at about the same range. I would say watch the line we talked about many times earlier. About 7.2 cents. We need to hold here. This is the line in the sand we need to hold. I think we can do. We might have one final test here of the lows, like a bit of a wick as we've seen here. Short fall to about 6.5 cents, and then we're there again. I don't know. That's my base case is that we will hold here at about 7.2 cents. Let's see though. Bitcoin is it's holding on. Bitcoin is stuck here. Probably it might have a retest again at about 7.63. Then goes up again to about 69. That is what we'll probably do in the next upcoming weeks. Unfortunately, this structure will only close near the end of August or the end of March. So still a lot of time we need to probably wait until we see a definitive outcome of where we will go. Will it go up or down? I think again though the most likely outcome is up. Let's see, guys. I'm going to strap out for this one. Bit less than the normal, but I will make it up with new videos next week. Let's talk about, for example, that banking charter, and also I think we need to talk about they got something also regarding the MiCA bill. Something new in the EU. So crypto.com is definitely still working. They're not strapping out. They're still working. AI.com probably still working. Cronos app is still coming. I'm overall bullish. Go sleep. Bought some more Crow yesterday. If Crow goes down tomorrow, I will buy some more. DCA, sir. DCA hodl. Go to sleep. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks, Timo. Thanks, Trans. I see Bjorn. I see Gordon. I see so many cool people today. If I missed anyone, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Remember, guys. Remember what the A-ball said. Remember what the A-ball said, right? Welcome. Thank you so much. Let's talk again very soon on Thursday, 9 PM Amsterdam time. Thank you so much. You know, welcome. Bit too late.